Nicole throws out a red flag. Kaylyn's got a man, and Derrick Henry wants a Gigi. Stay tuned. Coming up next.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Another week, another game of clones. The clones just keep on multiplying, I guess, at this point. We got a lot to talk about on tonight's show. Nicole's got her Ciaras, and Kaylyn's still looking for a Quavo, and we got Derrick Henry, a new guy in here. I'm Jim Alexander, by the way. To my left.
Hi, I'm Lindsay.
And I am Chef Beanz. Jim, what are you thinking?
I don't know what to think anymore. This show has me in a tailspin. I mean, it's as if I'm looking for a clone myself. It's moving so fast. What'd you guys think of tonight's episode just in general, the show? Right now, I'm just hoping these segments slow down a little bit because we're just getting new people. We get Derrick Henry tonight, and we still have unsolved clone dating experiences. What are you guys thinking so far, few episodes in regards to pacing of this show and the way it's presented?
I just wish there would be one person per show.
Yes.
Or maybe they leave a cliffhanger to the next show of who one person picks and then starts another person. Because it's hard to remember who all the people are, and you're just starting to meet them, and then, like, you just don't get to see as much as you could.
Now, yeah, I agree. It's like 7 new people every episode, and trying to keep up with it, I forget people's names, and then they all look alike. So it's like, is that Gigi? Is that Ciara?
Yeah.
Is that Miko?
I got 20 pages of notes going over. Hey, wait, does this person date it? Yeah,
and it's more than 7 people. It's like 21 people per episode, practically, you know, because each person.
Yeah, that's a lot to keep up with. It's something we are keeping up with since last week is Nicole's dating adventure, looking for her Ciara. So we've seen finally a little bit of narrowing down when it comes to Nicole. Yeah, let me scroll through the 20,000 pages of Nicole's dating.
Of her notes.
Yeah. So, we finally get some eliminations and some dates out of it, but we don't have a resolution yet. So they have a dancing date. That's the first thing they do. What did you guys think of how did that go,
So
Chef?
it was a little awkward at the beginning because it seemed most of the Ciaras didn't really know how to dance either, and Nicole was just very awkward as well. I'm not exactly.
She admitted to it at least. At least she was upfront that she can't really dance or not much of a dancer.
I just think it was so awkward. I wanted to look away. Like, they're all just, like, twerking. I don't know. Maybe you guys are guys, so you're like, I like watching girls twerk. But I don't know. It's too much.
It wasn't working there.
Yeah, it wasn't working. And, like, I don't know. Like, this show is supposed to be about, like, meeting someone for who they are and not what they look like. But they're just making them dance. And
Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of a physical thing.
Date. I mean, yeah, it was... They were at a dance studio, so they were going to kind of learn maybe or just show off their best moves, but no one had any moves to begin with.
The date that Pauly D had at the dance studio, that was way better. Like, he was actually, in comparison to everyone, looking for love. And if you notice, he's the only one who got a kiss from all the girls. No one did the kissing.
Right.
So,
Good point.
Yeah, he was actually, like, making connections.
What I noticed about this dance environment, this was their opportunity to show Nicole more of themselves, and Miko took advantage of this because she was the one to start off the twerking. She twerked on Nicole first. So I've noticed that Miko is a lot more aggressive than the other girls. What do you think?
I think so. I think there's a little bit of it, but it's kind of just no one's standing out. Like, if I can't think of one girl right away that comes to my mind, that means no one's standing out. Everyone's kind of
the only girl I liked was Rosé because she was the one who had plans and goals, and she kept saying, like, I want to change my ways, but she's not changing her ways. Like, and the whole concept of the show is supposed to be picking people for who they are and not what they look like, but they're picking people for, like, what they look like and not who they are.
Well, that leads to the next thing. Then we had our elimination, and the thing was, I guess, what did they want to be in life? Like, Nicole wanted to know what are their aspirations, what are their dreams in life. So you said Rosé wanted to be a lawyer. So that's the only one that really stood out in that point, because she actually had, like, a big dream or profession that she wanted to do. Some of the other ones, we had...
Bartender.
Tiara, bartender. Like, that is the goal in life.
I mean, I guess you could be a mixologist. That could be a big job.
Yeah. For how many years? How is that going to get?
You could be a fancy one, those Hollywood parties and for celebrities, and they make those drinks.
Do you think Tiara's that kind of skill set to.
It didn't seem
be
like
mixed
she
up.
wanted to be like a connoisseur. You know?
I don't know if she's
But there's
even
nothing against you
into-
bartenders watching.
No, nothing
But
against,
yeah,
but
if
as
you
a
were
life
looking-
goal, like,
Yeah.
we have someone talking about being a lawyer and that, no, I want to be a bartender.
Yeah.
Right, and she didn't seem that confident when she said it
No.
either. If your aspirations is to be a bartender, at least say it confidently. But
Yeah,
Nicole
be a
spotted that.
mixologist.
Yeah, I
Say
don't
what
think
you
she
love
wants
about
to.
it.
I don't think she wants it. She didn't have
She just
an
didn't
idea.
care.
She
She
just
didn't.
said something, I think, just to say it.
Right.
When we had
Brittany got
Kaba,
out.
well, yeah, Brittany wanted to be an actress, and that backfired on her.
That I was glad
big
she had
time.
her leave because she was probably just on the show for acting.
Yeah, but how much of a career move
Yeah, but
being on
like
the
that's
show
what
really?
everyone I feel like does. Like there's those people on reality shows that they want to be actors.
Yeah, but she didn't even stand out in this show. So
I know she wasn't even. She didn't really have a character either.
hopefully, like her
But-
solo acting career is better than reality show career.
Right, and she couldn't dance either. She brought that up earlier, but
Mm-hmm.
she at least, I guess, tried to dance, but it just didn't work out in her favor.
It did not. And then we had Kaba, who's still undecided if she wants to be fully engaged in dating a girl. Because it keeps on coming up.
Yeah, and Kaba, what she stated was very telling. She said that she's only trying out girls because guys did her so wrong.
True.
But now you have to test her integrity.
I want her to
you know what
tell
I mean?
us what did a guy do. to
Yeah,
her?
I mean,
She's
that's
not-
her
they're not
line that
getting
she
in
keeps on
depth.
going back to. Yeah, what did someone do to Kaba to make her get on this show and try a new way? So as we say, Rose, so then an elimination came with that. And the red flag for Nicole was that Brittany wanted to be an actress, and Nicole is not about that at all. I could see that. You know, you're trying to come on a show, and you're probably just trying to, further your career in any way and not be there for Nicole. So Nicole threw that red flag and said,
Right.
nope, I am not about that. And there goes Rose.
I agree with that. I
Sipping
agree
on
with that.
rosé at home.
I personally wouldn't want to date an actor either because their job is to like cheat on you. They didn't even say that part. Like if they're in a show, like,
Good luck dating in LA. Yeah. No, I get that. I
but
mean,
that is, it's like, I mean, you can get married and do that, but you have to be okay with the person making out with someone else in front of you.
true. And maybe it's easier if you're doing it yourself. You kind of understand it more.
Well, I think Nicole may have had experiences with actor or actresses in the past, and maybe that's why it's such a trigger for her.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it just seemed like it was time for Brittany to go anyway.
Yeah, and there she went. So yeah, then Rose, not ready. She wasn't ready for the next.
What was that conversation?
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
don't
see a
know.
conversation about that.
Yeah,
Like
and it
you
just
have too
that
much
was-
studying.
Right.
Like,
So she's a lawyer, and then she's like, well, in another time, if we had more time, I would have totally picked you, but now I'm letting you go. So now, like, the most redeeming quality, the one that has the biggest aspirations, goes to
that's like
with
how
Brittany.
life is. Everyone says like, "Oh, I want someone smart," or "Oh, I want this or that," and then they pick the wrong people.
And that just, like, for me, at that point, that took away a lot of credibility from Nicole because,
Right.
like, what do you want? Okay, I get the actor thing, but then someone who's ambitious and actually has, like, a real goal and aspirations and wants to do something that's too much for her. First, before you start thinking about, like, a whole lifetime with this person, how about get to, like, a first date or
Yeah.
find someone to do that, not, seeing so far ahead, oh, she wouldn't have time for me and all that. Like,
but I guess maybe
it's an easy excuse.
Maybe it wouldn't be a match because Nicole is a little bit crazy, and maybe Rose is, she's thinking maybe too good for her and going to live more of a calm lifestyle.
When Nicole seems very confused, like she doesn't know what she wants.
She's just
I
having
don't
a
know
good
if she
time.
wants to be there. That's the thing. I think she just wants to have a good time, hang out with a cool girl, but I'm not sure she's. To me, so far of everyone, she's the least likely looking for, like, an actual real connection. It just doesn't seem like with her
Yeah, she
questions
just has to have
and the
fun.
people she eliminates, it just doesn't seem consistent at all.
Yeah, unless there's conversations happening that they're not showing us, but
It could. I mean, not everything's, shown on what we see that's taped, but just that, even that dancing thing, there's no substance to it.
Right,
Yeah,
she's,
none of the conversation.
she's very playful. Yeah, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced with Nicole at all.
me too.
Yeah, I don't know why they're still dragging it out. I think this one could have been solved and settled really quickly. Like, she could have eliminated a few more people, and we could have had the resolution to that tonight.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And now, who's left? We have Ciara still. We have Kaba, and
Miko.
Is that 3? I think.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so it's a surprising 3. Kaba there's been no connection so far because she's still trying
she likes her because she's straight, so I think she might win because they always seem I don't know, they want what
Really?
they can't have.
Oh, but
I hope she doesn't pick her. It's gonna be probably between her and Miko, I would think.
Tiara, maybe she just wants a good bartender by her side.
That could be
She
it
just wants to
too.
have a good time.
I think I'm Team Miko as far as this selection, being that Miko has been the most consistent, but yeah, Nicole is more confused than anyone.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think Nicole's more confused than some of these girls and what she's looking for and wants.
Right.
I'm just honestly not interested in this storyline. It's not going anywhere. She's not making any connections with anyone.
She's not asking any serious questions.
No, none of these questions are serious. Too. I thought that aspiration, what you want in life, is a good question.
But then she went against it because of that.
She went against it. So then it kind of makes it empty in that sense. And the dancing date clearly didn't give you any resolution or answers.
And they didn't really talk at all during that either.
And then they made her wear heels. Who was it that gave her? Tiara gave her.
I did like that Tiara did that. She was trying to be flirty, and I liked that. But they didn't even show enough of that. Like she walked in heels fine. Like I don't know. I wish they would have shown them being
walked out literally. So
they should have made it look
off
cooler.
she goes.
I just want to say that I like that, Tiara did that. Put your money where your mouth is. You walk well in heels, but I don't think Nicole walked well in heels. I think
She didn't walk bad. Like I thought they could have they should have filmed that cooler. Like either she exaggerated it and was falling, but she didn't do bad. She was fine. So they should have made
she did not
They
fall.
should have been like impressed or something like wow, like a slow motion or like I don't know. They just didn't. It was like
I mean, as a girl, you would have more expertise.
I
in
just
this.
expected it to like be more of a bit for the show, like some like a little funny pop.
Yeah, it really wasn't. It was just like
pop.
a cutaway. I
And
think,
it would have been cool to see Nicole be, girly for a second, just in a different character, to see a different side of her.
Mm-hmm.
Like that could have been a moment to do that, and I would have liked to see, a softer side of her, like Pauly D, the softer side of him.
Yeah, we
doing
haven't
ballet.
seen a softer side of Nicole. She's being very kind of tough in a lot of ways with these girls and not letting him in any sort of way. I think she just like has a wall, right now, and is expecting almost the impossible.
And maybe though that's like her cover. She's nervous, and so she just automatically gets funny. Like everyone has that thing they do when they're nervous.
That could be the case. We don't know yet, but I'm feeling 2 episodes in and
we don't see any
3
depth
Ciaras
there.
left, and there's not much to root for or figure out at this point. It just
Exactly.
seems off track with Nicole. Nicole, maybe the challenge is the place to be.
Yeah.
Because this challenge of finding a Ciara is not working right now. Get with Johnny Bananas and win some challenges, and that'll make things better, right? Speaking of making things better, we get a new introduction of
yes.
Derrick Henry, the running back for the Tennessee Titans, had a great season. No, that's not that Derrick.
I Googled it. I was like, is that...
I'm like, Derrick Henry. I'm like, that dude had a beast season for the Titans. Ran all over the place. But this Derrick Henry ran over all the MTV shows. We had him on Are You the One, X on the Beach, The Challenge. So he's been a vet from all these shows.
Right.
I recognize him. I just, the name threw me off. I thought he was a football player.
Yeah, and his celebrity crush is
Gigi Hadid.
Gigi Hadid. Yeah, that's a good crush. I can't
absolutely.
fault him for that one.
Yeah.
Though the girls, did anyone resemble Gigi?
I thought the first girl who went out looked the most like her.
Who, Sarah?
Sarah. She looked a little bit like her.
Okay.
Out of all of them. But they don't. I was saying as we were watching it, if they looked like Gigi, then I look like Gigi because I have blonde hair and blue eyes. So
I guess
they would
that's
have
what it
thrown me
takes.
in the mix.
Maybe any of you looks like Gigi out there,
If you have
right? I
blonde
mean,
hair,
Chef, do you
but-
have something to tell to all our fans out there?
Yes, so I just want to say thank you for making us the ESPN of TV talk. For us to continue to grow, we need your help. Please make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, give us a rating on iTunes, 5 stars, of course, and leave us a comment. What AfterBuzz TV has done for me personally is giving me confidence inside and outside of the studio. So if you can, please just do all of those things.
That's right. So subscribe to this channel. We need more interaction here.
Yeah, talk to us.
Yeah,
we want to do like a live show with you guys and bring in a computer and interact with you guys
we
as
want to
we
know
talk.
what you're hearing and thinking about these clones and dates. So definitely comment, subscribe.
Send us your memes. There's some great memes of the
Hey,
show, so
whatever
we
it
can maybe
takes.
do a segment with
We want to
that.
hear what's going on with that. So some of the girls for Derrick are Cheyenne. She's 21 years old. What were
Right.
your thoughts on Cheyenne? And she's a shot chair maven, I guess. Is that a job? Is that a career? We see a little
That
clip of
shot
her on
of her
top.
on a guy on like a mechanical bull.
Yes.
Does she work at like Saddle Ranch or something?
That's what I thought.
that's what I
but
think.
she's 21 and she's a shot expert.
Well, what she says she's 21, but she said her last relationship was 5 years. That means she was dating this dude since she was in high school and 16 years old. So does she even really know about real love after high school?
But she did have a long-term relationship being young.
I mean, did she seem mature though? What did you guys think of their interactions? I thought she was bubbly and kind of fun and giggly, but I didn't see much substance or maturity there.
Me neither. And she called herself 20 Fun. So I get the fun side of it, but I'm not sure if that's exactly what Derrick is looking for.
If he's actually looking for a relationship,
I don't believe that he's looking for a relationship.
No,
at all.
let's
With the
be
questions
honest here.
I
No,
know we're
he's
gonna
not.
get into it, but the questions he asked, I mean,
Yeah.
those are not like relationship questions.
I'll say that Cheyenne did stand out. Of all the girls, she's the most kind of memorable in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
'cause
her personality.
Yeah, her personality stood out in that way. Then there's Deb, and she can burp. Is that her?
She's the life of the party.
Yeah.
But she's life of the party, only been single for the last 6 months, but she did take his shoe off. So she's being very aggressive.
Yeah,
from the-
because
What
she's
is it
all-
with these feet fetishes on the
I
show?
don't know.
Fighting off the sock of Pauly D, taking this guy's shoe off.
I have never met a girl that's into like these foot things, so I hope I keep it that way. But yeah, that is a thing with Pauly D, and now with Deb. She's all about like shoes, and she checked to make sure he was a size 12.
Maybe that was part of the interview questions when it came for casting the show.
Could have been.
You have to have a foot
you have to have
fetish.
something weird to stand out
Yeah.
to be picked.
It's like foot fetish. Yes, everyone's.
I mean, a lot of people do have that, but I guess
guess it's a
MTV
thing.
likes those people.
I
Hey, Pauly
Might
D picked
do.
the girl who
Yeah, Pauly
bit
did
his
it.
sock
Well,
off.
she had two personalities too at the same time, right?
Yeah.
There's two versions of her. But we had a Ciara also, who's into social media, goes to the gym, goes to the beach, likes to multitask. Is there anything else that's interesting or non-basic? I mean, in every way. I just thought she stood out because she was just so...
she is like the girl from Mean Girls where she's like, there's a 40% chance that it's raining right now, and it's like raining on her.
Right, and she stood out to him because of her lips, but I think that's where it stopped at.
It did, because there's nothing
Yeah,
about her
she was
personality
pretty.
that seemed very interesting in that way, or something like unique. I mean, she said herself, into social media. Wow, shocking. Can go into the gym and beach. Oh, wow, never heard that one. Yeah, so that's Ciara for you. Then there's Britt, who's a Southern badass.
Right. No, I agree. I really like Britt a lot. She was very aggressive. Her longest relationship was 2 years, but she had personality, to me personally.
I liked her the best too. I liked how she called them out about the oil. She's like, is there oil on
Yeah,
your
I
chest
did like
right
that.
now?
Yeah, I think, was she
liked that
28?
too.
She's 28, right?
Yeah.
So she's older, definitely a lot older than Cheyenne. There's a big gap there to be, at this point.
And the maturity showed as well during the interactions as they were speaking, but Cheyenne did feel singled out, but I get it. Like, it's a whole nother conversation when the age gap is like that.
True. So yeah, we had that baby oil thing. I didn't like that. And he did have it, right?
He did. He admitted it. He liked that. She called him out.
Yeah, which is, I guess, cool that he at least admitted to it, made light of it, and kind of a joke about it, and take it that seriously. Now, Derrick is looking for love, so that's why his first question was the craziest place they ever had sex in, because that's the number one thing you'd ask on, if you're looking for love. And
If a guy asked me that when I first met him, I would be like, how do I get myself out of here right now?
I'll tell you the craziest place I'm gonna leave right now.
Yeah.
So yeah. There's also Jackie, who we forgot. I guess she didn't make that much of an impact, but she did.
The
she wasn't
closet nerd.
and she was in a marching band.
Right, and she was the oldest too.
Yeah.
So the only thing that I've noticed about her, she had a little sense of humor, but that's
Well,
her character.
her sex question was what? Like missionary?
Oh, yeah. She was like joking with that.
Yeah, she was joking with that. So at least showed a little bit of personality, which was cool. And then we had Whitney, Okay. Do not forget about
She's supposed to be the bad girl.
Yeah, she had sex in a doctor's office, and she can go to any place randomly. She can meet a guy in a bar
And then
go on a trip with him.
Leave town and maybe
Right,
get
for 3
murdered.
I would never suggest that ever. Meet some random guy at a bar and just leave town with him.
Maybe she's like saying in code that she meets rich guys and then they're like, let me fly you out.
Listen, I do an
somewhere.
after show called I Am the Night. And this kind of scenario could have happened. He called it the Black Dahlia thing.
The rich
And,
guys that do that?
Well, there's Dr. George Fidel, who's a very mysterious, creepy figure. But this would be up that alley. You do not do these things, okay? Do not expose yourself to such crazy situations.
It's dangerous. And then there's
It
also
is.
guys that do that. Like one time, a guy offered to pay me $60,000 to go to Hawaii with him. I was like, no, I want to go to Hawaii, but like,
Not at that cost.
what are you
No.
paying me for? Like, that's creepy.
Good that
So
you
maybe
didn't
that's
take
what
that deal.
maybe that's what she does, though. You know, maybe that's like code for that.
Yeah, I don't know. It just
maybe
it
she's
just
a fun
seemed very
traveler.
shallow, and it wasn't funny. It was just concerning in a lot
Maybe
of
she
ways.
was trying to show that she was spicy, but I feel like that may have backfired. on her.
Definitely did backfire.
Yeah.
And that did not work in a good way. And then we had deal breakers. Of course, another question that would resonate, you know, on someone looking for love. Does the carpet match the drapes?
I like how was that Cheyenne who
Or there's
said
no
that?
carpet.
Who just thought was that Cheyenne the one who thought that it was like decorations in a room?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like that she answered. First off, everyone.
That's her age shown right there. That was like 21.
That's how people should have taken it. Joe.
I guess.
it's
She didn't catch
better.
the
She's like,
sexual-
oh, it needs to like your house needs to match, you know. And then
Yeah.
all the other girls were out. I think like they just put that question in just to be like
Everyone was out,
cringeworthy.
so they had to go back and reassess that one.
Yeah,
Right,
they're
so
like,
the-
oh, that one girl won, and they're
But
like, wait,
Derrick,
we have no
what
show.
was Derrick's really desire or answer to this? Did we even get a clear-cut answer
I
from him?
was very confused.
Yeah.
He didn't really say what he wanted from
Yeah.
that at all.
So-
I just feel like they just put it in to make it be a topic of the show.
Yeah. I mean, two very relevant questions, right? Looking
Like
for
that,
love.
and like that even represents it. Like if you're gonna like someone
Yeah.
or
Oh no,
not.
it doesn't. It's, no carpet doesn't match. Oh no, I
That's
can't
like
have that.
really weird.
Yeah, that was
If
one.
someone again, that'd be another question. If a guy asked me, I'd be like, I need to get out of here right now.
Well, I'm glad you weren't on this date with Derrick.
I would have walked off the
Yeah, this
show.
wouldn't have gone far, rightfully so. And then the third question was big spoon or little spoon?
Right, and Sarah did not answer that in the best of her ability because it was time for her to go packing.
She liked to be a big spoon, right?
I mean, I see why. I get why.
Is that a bad thing? I mean, is that a bad thing to be a big spoon or little? I would think it'd be
Doesn't
fine either way.
everyone just be both sometimes?
Right. Situation
Obviously,
calls
there's
for
one you probably like. Everyone likes more than the other, but like,
it.
I don't-
Deal breaker, really?
yeah, it's not like a deal breaker.
I wouldn't say so. But yeah, she's a big spoon. She seemed like a taller girl too, so it kind of made sense, right?
Yeah.
He said something about her. She's like, well, glad to know now because you know she's too tall.
That's
Like,
kind of mean to say.
yeah.
You're too tall
Yeah.
to date. And this show's supposed to be about personalities. That's what they keep trying to say.
And is Derrick kind of insecure about his height also, or
But
something?
he was taller than her. That
Yeah.
was the thing.
Yeah, I was like, she's
Didn't get
really
that.
pretty and not taller than him.
I'll drink water to that.
Big spoon
All
or little
spoons.
spoon.
All spoons are
Also-
fine.
yeah.
I mean, but that Sarah wasn't fine enough, so that sent her packing. And then another question. There's a lot of elimination questions with him. There's the body art or blank canvas. Now, this is a weird one because Derrick apparently doesn't have tattoos, yet he wants them on a woman. Okay, so it's like.
But what does that even tell about who you are if you have a tattoo or not? I guess you could be more adventurous, maybe, but
But then he's not adventurous if he's going under that.
I mean, maybe
assumption.
he wants someone who's more adventurous than he is.
But a tattoo would
But that doesn't
say
even
that?
say anything, I feel like, about a person at all.
Right. I understand a person having their preference, but India being the second one to go, I don't remember
Yeah.
anything about India.
No, I didn't either.
Oh, she was a swimwear model.
Oh, she was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
Oh,
do
you're
remember.
like, now you're like, oh,
She,
okay.
she swam
India,
herself
okay.
off the show, too.
But here's the thing. I actually liked when they revealed her like actual look, not the Gigi look. I thought she looked like more natural and better as like in her regular look.
That's
you know?
probably because she's a model.
Yeah, true. Was she the one with curly hair? Kind of after it was revealed. I thought
I
she
don't remember.
was.
Most of them look
Yeah.
better. All of them pretty much look better than normal.
Yeah, so I was like, okay. Well, she went home quick, and then she tried to make a joke about it too. How sad she was and crying it up.
Right.
Not really.
No, it was I the only thing I remember was the swimsuit thing, but she didn't have much substance after
They didn't
that.
show her really at all.
Yeah. So it's like, hey, you're eliminated. Oh, okay. There's
Yeah, that's why she fake cried. She's
5
like, okay,
seconds
bye.
of fame, right?
Yeah.
A moment. But yeah, I just thought overall, and these questions were so like meaningless and non-related to anything significant or someone
Part
that.
of me was thinking when I watch it, is this because I'm outside of the MTV demographic almost now? Because if you were 15 and in high school watching this, you'd be like, oh, this is like never have I ever. Like, I wish I could have conversations like that. Like, that side of you when you're like 15.
When you look at all these other questions, they're not that far off. They're kind of in
Right.
the same ballpark. So, to be fair here, I guess you could say that most of these questions are kind of shallow in a lot of ways and empty, right?
Yeah.
Right, I didn't catch on to any of these. And as far as like target audience, you have these older people trying to find love. So that's why it's like a
Yeah,
weird
and-
Paulie's like
in his 30s.
30s, yeah.
That's true. And also, MTV this is a new show, and they're bringing reboots of their old show, which means they're going to bring back us to the show. They're bringing back Jersey Shore. They're bringing back
Yeah,
the
these
real
are,
world.
yep.
So they're clearly trying to get our demographic and a younger demographic. And so I think there needs to be more depth in these questions.
Yeah, and these girls, I mean, do we always get their ages? No, I don't think so. Or do they list it? I don't even remember. There's so much going
There's
on
so
here.
much, it's hard.
But yeah, they seem to be like in their mid-20s usually, and I guess Cheyenne was one of the younger ones we've seen this season too. So even that age-wise, these questions wouldn't be that significant.
It's been 28 clones so far. Maybe that's
Wow.
why it's hard to keep up with so many people.
It is so hard to keep up. But yeah, that was Derrick's kind of adventure, and I don't know. Every time I looked at him talk, he was almost like kind of smirking and laughing. Like he couldn't even sell it in a way that he was that serious about finding someone. So like he was
Right.
saying the words, but it didn't look like he meant them at all.
It seemed like he was reading words, kind of like, "Oh yeah, I wonder who am I going to be interested in next." Like I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
if I
and they
believe
keep
Derrick.
repeating like, "Oh, they all look the same, so now I have to judge them for their personalities." But then they pick the one thing that makes them look different,
He
like,
did
"Oh,
say-
you're tall." Or,
Yeah,
"Oh."
like when India and Sarah were eliminated, he was bummed in a way. He's like, "Oh man, they're cute. They'd be girls I usually
say
would
that.
go for." So, and then he said something about a blindfold, how he should do it with a blindfold because then he wouldn't know which one's being eliminated. So.
That's just,
He's
like,
clearly
literally
against the
about
questions.
looks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's clearly against these questions and these eliminations.
Maybe
so.
the producers just hand them these questions and they don't pick. They have like a list of like 20 questions and they're like, pick 3 of them or something.
Yeah, we don't know. So we don't know what happens with that, but that was Derrick's impact. Did he fumble? Because I know the other Derrick Henry would take it into the end zone for a touchdown, not fumble some of these questions and dates.
No, I agree. And now we have.
And what you guys say overall before that, before we move on, did any of these girls look like Gigi at all?
I think Sarah looked the closest.
I think Sarah was, I guess, the closest, but once again, like, I'm just waiting for a clone to actually be like, oh yeah, that looks like this person. Like legitimately resemble.
Yeah, I
can't-
feel like the name of the show, you're expecting them to look more similar. It'd be better if they explain it as like a type. Like people have types. Oh, I like someone with this color hair, and
Yeah.
like then that
Like
makes
yeah,
sense.
if all they had to do is say a type, like a Megan Fox type, then that makes a lot more credibility, and everyone kind of fits in that ballpark. But if you're looking for a Megan Fox clone, none of these girls look like.
Right.
If you're looking for a Gigi clone, none of them. Ciara, none of them. Like no one's actually really resemble that person. And there's people that really resemble celebrities, in a regular normal world out there. So either they could do two things, like either say it like that, qualities or like that person, or are we focusing on having these clones actually look like each other too? Because none of them do in a lot of ways too. Mm-hmm. So it's just missing the point. I guess
Sarah's the only one.
Yeah, Sarah would. I guess Sarah would be the closest one to that. So once again, we are still waiting for a real clone that resembles the actual celebrity.
There's got to be one in one of the episodes.
Yeah, and now we have the case of the Quavos. Okay, I feel it's week 3 of this, right?
Right.
Yeah.
We are just going and going and going on with that. With the Quavos. So Kaylin, she's down to 3. We
Yes.
have Lorenzo, Rico, and Jalen. And last week we had Phil and kind of talking about these guys. So if you missed it, go check it out. Last week's show. Who did you like? So these were. I felt like this part of the show, like Kaylin's dates. I know we've kind of established her. We were more familiar with the clones and stuff, but at least these seem more like regular dates in a sense. There's more substance to all these dates and interactions so far than the stuff we saw with Derrick and Nicole. Mm-hmm. Right?
Nah, I agree. And yeah, Kaylin has been creating more substance, but these 3 dudes all have different personalities.
They really are different in a lot of ways.
I think too. Well, you know, the dates were more in depth, but I wish they would have showed more about Kaylin's friend meeting with them all. They didn't show the friend interrogating them. That would have been great.
That would have been probably the best part. We saw little snippets of it, but I'm like, oh, I didn't know that happened.
Why did they leave that out? And then it seemed like her opinion didn't even matter. She's like, oh, I think Jalen would be best for you. It was like, why even show that part if her friend didn't even seem to care that much?
She's like,
her friend was like, just go do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, it was dismissed. I mean, so thanks for coming out and helping, but
I just,
not really.
I'm just getting my friend on TV and we're gonna like have a good time.
Yeah, thanks,
You can take the other. Which one do you want?
Let's break down these dates. Lorenzo had the first one. So he makes brunch, I guess. That's what it was. And
it seemed like she didn't like the food. I don't understand why she was like, is this like alcohol? I was like, did you not like the food?
She didn't.
Like,
She doesn't drink, so he got her mimosas.
Well,
Good start.
he should have paid attention to that, but he was so awkward, like quiet. It made me uncomfortable watching. Like, you're not going to ask a question.
What was interesting is when he was off the show and they showed what he looked like normally, he looked less shy and he acted less shy. He was like, all of a sudden, he came out of his
the pressure went off, as soon as he got eliminated, he just like, well, I'm deuces, I'm celebrating. But yeah, he claims to be an observer, an observing type. Or, AKA, I don't have much to say. He does seem like a nice, quiet guy. I will say that. Like, I'm not doubting that. It just, there wasn't that much substance or any chemistry or connection
They did not show anything on their date at all. They were just sitting there eating food.
Yeah,
that's
she didn't like it either.
That's how awkward it was. But he also mentioned that he lost a lot of friends because of his last relationship because he invested so much into the woman, which...
I believe that, I guess. I mean...
I guess it shows how much he could love someone, but you do have to be a balanced person also. Yeah,
it just wasn't going anywhere. I knew as soon as that date happened, like, he has no chance of getting picked. So then it was down to 2. Rico was the next. Rico was the talk. Since the first time she interacted with him, he's been that bad boy that she knows is trouble for her, but she can't break away from him. So their date, so they had a record collector, like soul record collector,
like aura reader or something like that.
First off, I've had my aura read before, and it's not like that. The way that they did that, it just seemed like the producers told her everything to say. A real aura reading is they actually take a picture of your aura. Like, you have to put your hand on a thing, and they take a picture of your magnetic field. I've actually had it done.
I saw no field, no pictures, nothing.
And then it's also doesn't even talk, like, that's more of like if they were to have like a random psychic reading. Like, if you have your aura taken, there'd be a color around you, and then they tell you what the colors represent about you, and whether you believe that's true or not. But that's what an actual aura is. That was like a psychic reading. Like, I feel you're like this.
I didn't feel any of this. Did you, Chef?
It felt like she was reading something off of
Yeah, it really did.
It was like the producers were like, just call him out on everything.
Right, and it was very quick as well. It just seemed like he was just feeding her a bunch of things that she wanted to hear, but clearly she
and Kaylin was buying it, I guess. She's like, oh, yes, that's so.
She's like, let's get it. But
and then he's got a sense of adventure for life, and Kaylin's like, yes.
Well, probably he does. But the thing that I think is like weird is he's like, oh, my Instagram, that's what I do. And then like,
they keep on fighting over his social media.
Have you guys looked at his Instagram? He only has 52,000 followers. That's not even, I mean, it's not like a little amount.
Not bad.
But I thought he was going to have a legit Instagram where he had at least over 100,000 and that his feed was curated and good colors. But it wasn't like all out. You know, when you have that many followers, it's not like a big. He had no brand deals. And then the things on it. He had 1 million pictures of girls. He's like, oh, I don't post like my girls. I was like, well, you have all these girls, and then the caption says, how many girls have I had sex with? $50 to whoever guesses.
Who's entering those sweepstakes?
His post. Yeah.
Anyone entering those
Comment below if you won that $50. But that's what he says is like,
Yeah.
my business, my Instagram. It's like,
It's my-
okay, your business is like having people guess how many people you had sex with 52,000 followers.
I mean, some people approach it just, what's going to get people to keep coming back to my Instagram. That's a lot of like narratives that I
I
see.
guess
And
it's
then
just too much social media talk with them too.
And then I was like, he would want to post Kaylin because she has like 3 million followers. So that's going to actually, it's like she has the legit Instagram business.
Yeah, well, we'll see how that goes. Jalen was, I felt he was the best fit for her. I mean, he seemed like a smart guy and a guy that's kind of has his, she claimed he was young. Was he like 24?
Yeah, he was 24.
Yeah, but like, I think he had his stuff together and seemed like he was a pretty genuine, good dude. They agreed about a lot of, they had a dinner dessert kind of thing, and it was a cute little challenge with questions too, and it was just like a normal date. They talked about how they like traveling and the craziest thing they did.
Their date.
Yeah, it was a normal kind of cool date, them getting to know each other actually. And then, Kaylin reveals she had the craziest thing they've ever done. Kaylin had a threesome. And,
Right.
And she seemed turned off that he just did stuff in a movie theater. She's like, oh, that's all okay. Like,
yeah.
The way she questioned it, but I feel like
Right.
she felt she would walk all over him. That's what I feel like, Kaylin. Because though a lot of women say they want a nice guy, they want a guy to be chivalrous, different things like that. With her strong personality, maybe she put that in combination with his age and just like, he's not ready for me. He's just not ready for me.
Maybe, although they did have things in common,
I liked him the best. I did like him the best.
Yeah, I
he
thought
was the best of all the guys. Like a perfect combination.
True,
of both.
he wasn't as quiet as
Lorenzo.
Yeah, as Lorenzo, and he had more things together.
And they got more in depth on their date. They actually got to know each other a
Yeah,
little
it was
bit.
actually a legitimate kind of little date, as opposed to the other ones where just kind of, what is that?
Yeah. Yeah,
But yeah, I thought she was gonna pick him. I really did. Like I thought after.
I thought she was gonna pick him too because she kept saying, "I'm not gonna pick Rico." I'm
Yeah,
not
and
gonna do
especially
it."
after her friend Becky said that we're gonna, Jalen is a good one, and she kind of almost pushed Jalen towards her
Yeah.
and Rico's trouble, and she was right, and based on what Kaylin likes, but nope. At the end, Jalen and Lorenzo are left stranded, and Rico.
I know. Why did she do that? And then here's the thing: is Rico did post a picture of her, but Kaylin didn't post him. She tagged him in a story, and that's probably all Rico wanted was he wanted to be on hers.
Right.
And she's like,
actually,
nope.
So much for the
I'm
social
not
media
sharing
relationship.
You.
Yeah.
I have too many followers. Share you.
I actually wanted Rico to win. And I don't know if it's...
You were
I
hyped
did.
about
I
it.
did want him to win too.
I wanted
a little
Rico to
bit,
win because of the Jersey connection. He's from Jersey. I know people who know him personally. And though Kaylin was talking about looking for love, X, Y, and Z, sometimes if you have a type, you have a type. It doesn't matter.
True.
Even if a guy meets your characteristics. There was something edgy about Rico that Kaylin just couldn't get enough of. So I kind of felt
He
like
was a sweet talker.
But
I
did
mean, he
she
had a
really
good
look
way
at
of
his Instagram? Because I can't get past the photos. Like everybody watching, go to his Instagram and like look at the photos, and you'd be like,
Now he's gonna get all the followers.
It's his business. Like
that's what
his
he
business.
wants. Like, but he did post her. They're the last post right now as we speak.
Yeah, so much for that. Rico is.
Maybe he's a changed man. He put her on.
I
I don't know his intentions for that, but
he was the winner of this whole challenge thing, whatever it was. So she fell for the bad boy. That's a smooth talker.
Right.
Well, we'll see how that happened. But we will have another cliffhanger with Nicole still down to her final 3. And then, of course, we'll see how Derrick maintains the rest of this whole thing. Next week, we're getting another edition. So just it's coming a mile a minute.
Right.
Keep up with it. Take notes, everyone.
yeah, take notes with us.
Yeah, so we're not done yet. We have a special segment. Okay, I thought there was gonna be a cool voice. Yeah.
Special
Not gonna happen. Okay,
segment.
special
That's a
segment.
noise.
Since it was a big topic of conversation tonight's show, what is the craziest thing you've guys done?
Who are we starting with?
Chef, you look like you're ready to answer.
Okay, one of the craziest things
Yeah.
that I've ever done that I can think about off the top of my head is I'm going to say I got spicy inside of a fast food restaurant bathroom with someone that I was in a relationship with some time ago. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not going to say which one.
Yeah. No. It's okay.
Yep.
I'm trying to think. The craziest thing I ever did, I think, was I walked on fire. So I walked on 2,000 degree coals
Whoa. You're here today?
Yeah, it didn't burn me. I was fine.
Wow.
And I do not like, it was like I was on The Bachelor. Like, I don't like doing those things at all. But I was actually at a Tony Robbins seminar, and the first day you meditate all day, and then they make you be a firewalker. And I just decided, they said they had like people who were like 70 doing it. And I was like, okay, it's now or never. I'm going to do it. And so I did it.
Wow.
So I can say I walked on fire.
Right.
Yeah, that's something. I have a couple ones, but I guess one of them was taking a job and moving to Green Bay, Wisconsin without ever being there, and being a Bears fan and covering the Packers. What was I thinking? That town didn't last long for me. Yeah, so I took that crazy journey and trip about a year ago or so.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Going
And I'm
against
here
the
now,
norm.
so all the way far away from Wisconsin and Green Bay, and I'm in LA.
Right,
So-
because there are some diehard fans. That's why I'm looking like that was brave.
That was brave, especially when I was like taking jabs at the Packers and I revealed I'm a Bears fan. I had a shirt underneath, and yeah. Didn't work well, but yeah, crazy thing. You live and you learn, right? In every sense. Well, we'll see what the lives of these remaining contestants will be next week on a Game of Thrones. This show just keeps on continuing, and we get cliffhangers as if this was Game of Thrones or something, right?
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, maybe someone will eventually find love. For this week,
I want to see another day. I want to see the date after the show. That they need to have
yeah.
like a recap.
no, how
and
about
see what
like
happens.
2 hours after a show? What happens there, right?
Yeah.
Well, before that, where can people reach you guys?
I'm Lindsay Hoffman, and you can find me at Lindsay B. Hoffman across all of social media land.
And you can find me at chef_Beanz with a Z.
And you can find me at the Jim Alexander on all social media and realtalker.com. That's REEL. And I'm on a bunch of after shows, all the wrestling shows.
Links are in the description. So
That's
just
right,
Click
yeah.
all the links and
Click
be our
on the
friend.
links in the description. We're all there. You can reach us. And stay tuned for next week's Game of Clones after show. See you guys.
Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.